shots at a second WPT title.
Doyle Brunson's going to win another pot. This is getting good.
In Las Vegas, in a battle between young guns and a crafty cowboy, the Bellagio 5 Diamond might end up being a girl's best friend.
Now back to the call of the game with Mike Sexton and Vince Van Patten.
You're at the 5 Diamond World Poker Classic from Bellagio. 4 players remaining right now.
Well, it's come down to 2 foreign players in their 20s. A lady and the legendary Doyle Brunson. So you're right, Vince. It's going to be a classic finish here.
Okay, back to the action. J.J. Lew with a pair of 4s. First to act here, and she is going to raise it an additional $155,000.
Well, she's making it $275,000 to go.
Doyle quickly folding his hand.
Patrick looks at the 8-5 here. He's going to lay it down.
And now around to Renee Peterson. Look at this. He's picked up a huge hand, pair of kings.
Well, he's moving all in right here. Vince, that's for $1.8 million, meaning it's going to cost JJ over $1.5 million to call this bet.
We know she'd be a huge dog. She's not that well invested.
You don't want to go calling huge amounts with small pairs. You don't mind betting it, but you just hate to call with it because at best you're going to be in a race situation where your opponent has 2 overcards. And if your opponent happens to have an overpair, you're a huge underdog here, as is the case right now.
Yeah, you would figure that she's going to make this lay down. The mother of 2 from Palo Alto, J.J. Lew.
She's been known to have a lot of gamble in her, Vince, that's for sure.
Well,
and she's doing it.
She is doing it.
Well, she's made this call.
Oh, boy, what a blunder.
Well, she hasn't lost the pot yet, but in my view, this is not a good call at all. To call over $1.5 million more with a low pair like this, you are really gambling.
Yeah, I think she just went with a hunch, and this thing is backfired in a big way. Renee Peterson, usually playing on just solid hands. You got to take that in consideration.
Everybody's rooting for her, you know. It's so brutal.
Right now, she's going to have to catch lucky. Here's the flop, and she's not going to do it on the flop.
She is in dire straits right now. She's got to hit a 4 or 2 running spades to win this pot. And recognize we saw Doyle fold a 4. So she has 1 4 left in the deck is all.
The king still well out in front. Here's the turn. It's a 3, no help to JJ.
So we are down to the river card, and there's only 1 4 left in the deck. JJ Lew must catch it if she's going to knock Renee out of this tournament.
Glass is fogging up as we turn over the river.
Over $3.7 million in this pot.
She didn't get it.
She's got nobody to blame but herself for losing that $1.5 million.
She has just doubled up Renee Peterson. He is tickled pink.
My name is Renee Pedersen, and I'm from Denmark. This is pretty big for me. Yeah, I like the competition in it. That's what attracted me in the beginning. And later on, it's also you win quite a lot of money.
That was freebie money given over there to Renee. Absolute funny money.
So the 4s were the demise of Daryl Dickin, and certainly they put a hurt on J.J. Lew right there.
Okay, no more pussyfooting around. Antes and blinds going up. Antes will be $20,000 each, with the blinds being $100 and $200.
It's $380,000 that each player has to put in the pot each round before they even look at their cards.
Okay, action on the man from Finland, Patrick. He's got a pair of 9s here.
Well, that's a big hand in a short-handed poker game. See what he's going to do with them.
25-year-old chip leader from Helsinki. Catching a lot of wired pairs so far.
Well, he's going to raise it. Comes in for $600,000.
That is an additional $400,000. Renee folding his queen 6. Round to J.J. Lew. Look at this. She's got ace-6 of diamonds in the small blind. She's already got $100,000 in there.
She's still rubbing her toe from stubbing it just a minute ago. She opts to lay it down.
Interesting. And now it's around to Doyle, who's got a couple $100,000 in. He's only got a 10-8.
I recognize there's almost $1 million in the pot. Going to cost Doyle $400,000 more to make this call. And he is doing it, Vince. He's going to gamble here.
Gonna speculate. Doyle Brunson with just 10-8.
Well, Doyle understands that you have to play when the blinds and hands get this high. You just can't sit back and wait for all the monster hands because they're hard to get. Well, he's going to try to flop something here, and he better flop something good.
Thought the tip's worth more than that.
He's going to take down 2 9s.
The Finn against the legend. Nines versus 10-8. Here we go.
Well, the flop comes 8-4 deuce. Doyle Brunson has flopped top pair.
And we know Patrick has got the overpair, the nines.
This could spell doom for him, Vince. There's no way he's going to get away from this hand.
All in.
Oh, he's pushing it all in.
Patrick's quickly going to call with the overpair. Well, what a pot this is. Nearly $5 million in this pot, and Doyle Brunson is up against it.
Well, he was playing with danger, making that call before the flop. He speculates, hits his hand, but now he's in deep trouble.
He's got to catch a 10 or an 8 here.
Great Doyle Brunson on the ropes here.
Now, Vince, if he loses this pot, he can just go back and analyze calling before the flop here. He's got to have a 10 or an 8 to take the lead in this pot. Oh, a 10 comes up on the card. The crowd goes wild. Oh, but it's not over because it's a club. Notice that Patrick now has a flush draw with his 2 nines, so he can win the pot with any club or any 9.
Doyle Brunson catching lucky on the turn. Now, can he hold it up?
This would be a huge break for Doyle Brunson. If his hand holds up and he wins this pot, to put an outdraw on your opponent like this is major.
Here comes the river.
Well, it's a 4. Doyle's going to win this pot with 10s and 8s.
Oh.
And Patrick Antonios is saying to himself, I see why they call you the godfather of poker.
Oh, it's nice to do the wrong thing at the right time. Doyle Brunson succeeding in that mess.
As everyone knows, Doyle Brunson is a legend in the world of poker. But even Doyle will tell you that winning a WPT final table is never easy.
You got to have a combination of, I guess, skill and luck. I think the final table kind of brings out the best players, especially in a tournament like this. And it's sure not easy to win.
Oh, Doyle's a legend, you know.
He's Doyle, living legend, so he's the best.
I respect him a lot, but I don't fear to play him.
I think I do get called a little bit more.
Does he want to tangle with Doyle here?
Especially they've all read that dang book. They never think I've got anything.
He's going to call it.
If you notice, they always study about playing back at me. It's just a little bit aggravating. Look, $2 million is $2 million. I would like to win it, but more than the money, it's the prestige right now. I think at this point, I want to win it.
So Doyle Brunson stacking up his chips. And with that pot, he gets off the short stack, and that distinction now goes to J.J. Liu. The lady at the table is on the short stack, meaning that every player at this table has been on the short stack at one time or another.
On Doyle Brunson right now. This time looks down at Jack 4, doesn't want any part of it. And now we're on Patrick. I tell you, you could boil a pot of coffee on his head right now. He is steaming.
Well, I think he's keeping his composure very well, Vince. Lays his hand down. Round to Renee in the small blind.
A chunky 10-6 it looks like, and he says, I want to raise.
This guy hadn't made a move yet today, and now he's raising the pot with a 10-6 offsuit.
Oh, I like it. Welcome to the game there, Renee. Taking a shot here with just 10-6.
Well, you got to like the play, because he's only got to get by the big blind to win the pot.
But look at this, the big blind. It's got a pair of aces wired up.
That's unbelievable.
I'm all in.
There she goes, all in.
Poor Renee has made his move.
Renee quickly folding his bluff, and Renee will be taught never, ever try to steal again.
Stick around. We're coming back with more exciting action from Bellagio right after this.
You know he's the one with the big hand.
I'll be waiting a bit and playing solid hands in the beginning, but I have to gamble at some point.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We're at the $8 million 5-Diamond World Poker Classic at Bellagio. Let's check the chip count and see where the players stand.
4 players remain.
And Vince, they've all got chips now. Will one of these 2 foreign players in their 20s take this title? Will we see the first ever lady champion on the World Poker Tour? Or will we see the legendary Doyle Brunson capture his 2nd WPT title?
Fun and excitement in the Fontana Lounge at Bellagio. Action on the Cowboy Doyle Brunson.
He looks down at Queen Jack offsuit. Doyle very aware of how high these blinds and antes are, meaning you got to get in there and play something. And he's going to play the Queen Jack to the tune of $600,000.
Yes, he goes up the elevator into Patrick. Now Patrick with the button, he's got a pair of 9s. How many wired pairs has Patrick picked up tonight?
Well, he's picked up a lot of them. It's a middle pair, as we say. The toughest hand many feel to play a no-limit hold'em, especially when a guy's raised in front of you. What do you do now?
Well, that's the same hand that he had a couple hands back that Doyle just humbled him with.
This guy has been a huge thorn in Doyle's side this entire tournament.
Of course, Patrick is the chip leader with close to $6 million. He's going all in.
Well, he's going to take the decision out of his hands and put it back on Doyle.
Renee's going out. JJ out. Back on Doyle. Doyle's going to be saying to himself, what's going on here? Why is this guy raising so much?
Well, Doyle's trying to calculate his pot odds here.
When do the blinds go up again?
In fact, Doyle asking when the blinds go up.
15 more minutes.
He understands how high they are, how difficult it is to pick up hands in a short-handed game.
Well, yeah, because when those blinds go up so much, the luck factor increases. It's like a coin toss. He understands that. Well, does he want to gamble right now with his old friend Patrick?
Well, there's about $4.4 million in the pot now. Going to cost Doyle about $3 million more to call because that's all he has left.
Now, that is a distinct overraise by Patrick, of course. You know, he had close to $6 million. Just had to call an additional $4 million, but he's saying, last time I got snagged by making a mid-sized raise. This time, I'm going to make Doyle feel it, and yes. Well, there's a good example. Those middle pairs, how tough they are to play. He tried it a couple of hands back where he did a nice massage raise. He couldn't get Doyle to get out, and it really hurt him. So this time he says, to heck with it. I feel a little unlucky with it. If this guy wants to gamble with me, good luck. I'm going all in. And it works that time.
Well, right now, Doyle Brunson's got to be wishing that Patrick would go back to modeling.
And right now, short stack Doyle Brunson with about 2.6.
And if this fight were stopped on points, I'll tell you, Patrick Antonios would defeat Doyle Brunson. At the moment, anyway.
Action back on Doyle.
Doyle looks down at a Jack-10. Even though he just got spanked a moment ago with a Queen-Jack, he is not changing his style. Looks like he's getting out some chips here, Vince.
Oh, come on now, Cowboy. Slow down.
Is he going to raise it again?
Oh, you got to love his competitive spirit.
Well, he's doing it to the tune of $600,000.
Yeah.
They may knock him back a step or two, but he gets right back in the middle of the ring and fires more shots at him.
And now it's on to Patrick, and I can't believe this. Again with a pair.
I'm all in.
Patrick's going all in.
Unbelievable.
Oh.
This is like an instant replay of the last hand.
Oh, deja vu. Renee quickly going out. JJ going out with Jack-5. Back on Doyle.
Doyle's just got to be eating his insides out now.
Oh.
This kid is playing him like a fiddle here. Oh, man.
This kid has acquired more pairs than a fruit stand all night long. But you know what's interesting? A lot of players would massage it. He's saying, I've had enough. I get the middle pair. I take the pot. I don't want to know. I don't know what the flop is. I don't want you to outdraw me. I'll wait for another hand to bust you.
Folks, if you've ever wanted to know how to play a middle pair, a no-limit hold'em, just replay this show and watch what Patrick does and see how he plays them.
Patrick Antonius has it all. He's young, good-looking, and is a good poker player. But there's one thing he still wants, a WPT title.
Helsinki Finland, Patrick Antonius.
WPT, it's one of the best tournaments to win, especially this one in Bellagio.
Patrick has been a brutal force throughout this entire tournament.
I'm definitely worried about him.
16 Jack, Patrick's has the best hand.
He's a very tough player. Very tough.
So what prepared him to be such a tough player?
I've been doing modeling 4 years when I was studying in Finland. It was I didn't do much catwalks, just pictures, catalogs and stuff.
Well, maybe it wasn't the modeling, but Patrick has always been a fierce competitor.
I was playing tennis almost professionally when I was 18, 19. I also did coaching. I do a lot of sports. Because poker is sport and I'm one of the top players.
Well, he's very happy to win it right there, I can tell you, with 2 sevens. Didn't want to get in a race situation there and double up the great Doyle Brunson.
Well, Doyle Brunson in the stirrup and getting dragged around by this young man. Anyway, the antes are going up to 30, blinds being 150, 300,000. Action on our man Doyle. Lays down a 9-5. Now it is on Patrick.
Well, Vince, with 570,000 in the pot now, before the cards are dealt, all you're going to see is big bet poker from here out, I'm guessing.
All in.
Look at this. Patrick goes all in with 8-5.
I call.
And Renee Peterson with a pair of ladies right behind him has called this. JJ Lew going out. The thief has been caught here.
Renee